Hey, welcome to episode 3 in a 12 episode series. And this is one of my favorite episodes, but I would encourage you to stay to the very end. We give a really neat tip as it relates to vendors. So stick around for that. It's towards the very end. I know it'll help your business out. This is a great episode. Thank you. Hey, welcome to episode 3. Today is a great episode. It's one of my favorites in terms of the topics. Mastering Google reviews and SEO trust. Google reviews do a couple of things for you. One, they help you on what we call the conversion side. Obviously, you're in the 3-packer, you're showing up and people see your GBP. They're going to see your review ratings, the volume of your reviews, and then obviously the rating score that you might have. And then how do reviews affect the ranking process within GBPs? We're going to go through that, and I'm using Perplexity to organize my notes. If you're listening to this on a podcast, normally I tell you or steer you back towards a YouTube channel to get information. This is one of those podcasts you can go ahead and roll on if you're riding a lawnmower or you're going for a run or whatever the case is, or driving around. There's some stuff you are going to want to reference the YouTube channel at some point, maybe towards the very end. For the most part of this, it's a lot of talking. I'm in the Perplexity right now, and we can see the question becomes, do Google reviews in your GBP help increase ranking in the GBP? And the direct answer is it is yes, it's a direct ranking factor. The more reviews you have, the better it's going to increase your chance of moving up in the 3-pack, so to speak. Ideally, we want to get high ranking reviews. What Perplexity is stating is there's evidence of more reviews, especially moving from very few to a moderate number. 3 to 16 can boost rankings, but the impact may plateau after that. And I kind of agree. In other words, if you have no reviews and you're doing a lot of other things to your GBP in addition to reviews, you're going to see a pretty quick boost. And then after that, it just kind of plateaus. But there's other benefits to that. And basically, one of the tricks in reviews too is you do want to blend in keywords. I'm just going to use the phone repair business. Hey, they fixed my own iPhone 16 screen, or my iPhone 16 speaker, so to speak, or they were able to fix the water damage, or I came from a certain city. I traveled from this city all the way to blah, 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 and they fixed my phone. It was great. It was quick, or whatever the case is. So you can kind of manipulate the reviews to infuse keywords or ask people to just say, hey, can you say something about this model, your particular model, or where you came from, or some other dynamic in terms of a keyword. So hopefully that makes sense. Prominence and trust. Reviews contribute to your business online prominence, which is one of the 3 main relevant factors, which is distance, prominence, and then relevance to the service you're doing. And then obviously it gives Google engagement signals that, hey, this is a viable business. It's actively getting customers, providing good service, and everything that goes with it. So the short answer to affecting ranking is yes, it does. And this is one of many reasons why you're going to want to give some time and effort into this aspect of your business. The summary of this is more reviews generally help, especially moving from few to moderate. Okay. And again, after that kind of plateaus, you still want to make it a consistent effort. We're going to get into that. So Google does want to see that you're adding so many reviews a week or whatever your average that you can maintain. And again, it involves frequency. So it's not good to get a bunch of reviews and then just no reviews for a while. That doesn't help your cause. You just want to consistently be adding reviews. Again, blending in keywords, maybe relevant locations or things where people are coming from. And then replying to reviews is also very important, good or bad. If it is a bad review, you want to check your emotions. Maybe have ChatGPT or Perplexity help you pen a review that's not political, but just one that doesn't a back and forth arguing like 2 school children. Put a good light on a bad situation as best you can. So frequency, quality, consistency, do that as much as you can. All right, so what are the guidelines? And this is kind of an interesting deal that we want to understand is we want to be within Google's guidelines for these reviews. So If you type it into Perplexity, what are Google's guidelines for getting reviews? You can do this right in Google, obviously, or ChatGPT, but sometimes these large language models help summarize things. So Google's guidelines, the review itself must be authentic based and real. Reviews should only be written by customers who had genuine direct experience with your business. Fake and spammy or duplicate reviews are strictly prohibited and can result in removal and penalties for your profile. So I had a customer recently ask me, hey, can I just go out and buy reviews? And I told him not to, but ultimately it's his profile. And I told him what the consequences were. So basically, a lot of things can happen. Google can be as nice and generous as just removing those reviews, or they can absolutely suspend your GBP. GBP is nowhere to be found. So those are the consequences. Play at your own risk, but I would highly recommend you do not pay for reviews. They talk about no incentivizing or soliciting fake reviews. Business must not offer money, discounts, gifts, or any form of compensation in exchange for reviews. You cannot ask employees, friends, or family to leave a positive review unless they are an actual customer. Now, what constitutes an actual customer? I'll let you figure that one out. It's Google's playing field. How we play on it is there can be some gray areas there. I do have clients that do offer slight discounts, but they also predicate it on making sure that they provide 5-star service. So they're upfront telling the customers, we would like a review, but we need to provide 5-star service for that. Reviews must be relevant to the business and respectful. Talking about the written part of this, there should be no political and social commentary and offensive language allowed. And they talk about do not solicit review in bulk. I've heard of people going to, let's say, public events, festivals, and giving out things to people if they leave a review, and they maybe get 30 to 100 reviews. And that's just the algorithm sees that and they're like, no go. And they may put them up, they may post them, but then they may pull them back down within like 30 days. Using Google's branding properly when requesting reviews. You can link directly to the GBP icon, but Google must not alter the logo and Google endorsement. Okay, so regularly monitor and respond to reviews. This is a big one. Wants to see, they want to see that you're engaged as a business owner. If you don't do it, have somebody within your reviews and replying to them. What I'm going to jump into after this here is the conversion of reviews. In other words, do Google reviews convert? And I would say yes. Google has some guidelines affected to Google review play and conversion traffic on your business. For every 10 new reviews your business earns, your GBP conversion rate improves by 2.8%. This means more people who view your profile will take actions like calling requests, directions, visits. Businesses that gain 40 to 45 new reviews in a month saw a boost in conversions. Now, they're saying 40 to 45 new reviews in a month. That you're kind of throwing up a red flag to Google. Be careful there. It's great that they come up with this statistic. I would caution you on not getting that many reviews in a month. I think probably 10 is probably pushing it, 10 to 15. Higher star ratings drive more actions. A 0.1 in your star rating increases conversion by 4.4%. A full star increase from 3 to 4 can boost conversions by 44%. Listings with higher ratings see more customer taking action compared to those with lower ratings. It's common sense. Review response enhance trust and conversion. Responding to reviews is a powerful conversion factor. For every 25% of reviews you respond to, your GBP conversion rate increases by 4%. The net is reviews, and you're going to see a sizable increase in what we call transactions, net, leads, business, whatever you want to call it. So visibility and indirect effects, more and better reviews not only increase conversion, but also improve your profile's visibility in search, leading to more potential customers discovering your business. If we look at these conversion scenarios that Perplexity lays out, I wholeheartedly agree with all of them. Again, if you can get in a 3-pack, 65% of your leads will actually come from your 3-pack or your GBP, provided you have great reviews. If you're in the 3-pack and you're number 3, but your reviews are huge and you have 5 stars or close to it, you're going to get that call first, and these others will trail, even though they're in a higher position or ranking. So hopefully that is a total no-brainer, and it's all within your means to take care of this. Make sure on your website, your review scores are scrolled up at the top. I think a lot of people make a mistake that they put their review scores that scroll. There's a service that can do that, and we provide it to our clients, but it scrolls your reviews along the bottom, right? So that's social proof or proof that you're a good company. I would put that towards the very top. It's about conversion. It's about people taking action. When they see reviews going past, like they're moving towards that path of either filling out a form or calling you or whatever the case is. So I think it's really important that you not only get reviews, and that's good for your GBP, but you take that effort that you just put forth and you get it on your website that reinforces and edifies your capability to do business. And lo and behold, you'll see your website start to convert even more. We talked about how important reviews are, what they can do for your GBP and pushing your GBP up, what they can do for conversion. Now, dollar question, how do I get more reviews? I'm going to talk about some of the tactics. Some things are straightforward. Some things are what we call a gray area. And then some things are black hatish, and you're going to want to stay away. It helps you out. The first thing I'm going to say is how to get in the review mindset. If you're a mature business owner and you've been in business for a while, for me, the biggest challenge, my nephew came to me, 15, 20 years ago. He goes, hey, this review thing is really important. You need to get on it. I'm like, look, I've been in business 10, 15 years. I do work with major sports organizations. I don't need reviews. He's like, no, dude, you really need reviews. But to get in that review mindset, understand we're in a world that everything is reviews and likes. You go to Amazon, it's reviews. You go to Facebook to some degree, everything is about proof that you're good at what you do and your product is good and everything else. So we all have to get in that game. The old guard of your reputation or whatever the deal is isn't going to help. You need to be in this review mindset. So you as the owner or you the leader of your organization, you need to own this problem and you need to show your people how to win this battle. The first thing I would do is go to your GBP, and Google gives you the tools to help get reviews. So if you go into your GBP, you'll see edit profile, read reviews, photos, update, and then on the lower line off to the right, just ask for reviews. Google is going to, you can see this on YouTube. If you're listening, go to the YouTube channel and it'll show this. But basically, right around the 16-minute and 15-second mark, it shows you they have a QR code and then they have a link. Now you can take that QR code and you can take that link and you can put it on your collateral. So you can put it on invoices, you can put it on brochures, you can put it on business cards, you can hand it to people and say, hey, all you gotta do is click on this and leave a review. And some of my people are forward enough to say, have you ever left a review? And if they haven't, it's like, here, let me show you. You click on it with their phone, and guess what? You show them how to leave a review and they leave it. And that's another nuance, because I know Google doesn't ask you to solicit reviews, but it's the human condition. We all mean well and say, hey, I'm going to leave you a review. But the reality is we're all busy. It's an ADD world. And you need to strike that opportunity where you can and quote, show them how to leave a review. So Google gives you the tools to do that. You can literally click on emails here and send it out yourself by hand. One way of doing it. One way of doing it as far as tools. And the key thing here is the people that want to leave a review, unfortunately, you need to have a Gmail. So in some cases, this is extreme, but you may have to help them set up a Gmail. They're free. So here's what I do for service-based businesses and how I pitch it. So if I had a service-based business, and let's say I was doing a carpet cleaning situation, and the customers invited me in their home, they've effectively said, yeah, let's do it. I would have the lead person say, hey, ma'am, our job today is to give you a 5-star service. Here's the phone number of my supervisor or owner. If this is anything less than a 5-star service, you are supposed to call them and let us know what we can do to make it a 5-star service. And then, but if it is 5-star service, we really appreciate your review and your comments. And so you can say whatever comment you want to say, but our goal here is to really give you that 5-star service. Look, this is something Disney has done for over 30 years. And so it has worked for them. They can demand a price point that's 50 to 100% more than anybody else for their services, their products, their merchandise, the whole 9 yards. So they're fully aware that this is effective. And it's actually a good role of what we want to do as business owners. It's really important that this culture of getting reviews is moved into your organization. So there are software services that will help you get reviews. And most of us as business owners or supervisors, we want that silver bullet, right? We just want it easy. Like, here's my money, $70 a month, just get me reviews. Does it work? I would say it's worth doing. Okay. However, it's probably going to be 2 or 3% of all your reviews that you get. The best way to get reviews is directly ask your customers or give them all the ways to do that. So one of the ways to do that is a service. The company is called Tap 5 Stars. And now you can have, again, this QR code that's on your GBP, you can print it and put it on a sheet of paper and says, hey, we really appreciate a 5-star review. And they can point their phone at it. What's different about this product, more proximity. In other words, you just bring your phone there, it automatically brings up the address, review deal, and they're good to go. So it's about making the process as easy as possible for client or customer to leave that review. So what Tap 5 has is they have cards, stickers. Again, you can put it on your business card, and you got stickers that you can put it anywhere on the wall or whatever the case is. And then they have these plates too, and that's a flat one, obviously. If I had a restaurant, I might utilize those. If I had a bar, I'd be a little careful because people are drunk. You may get reviews, but you may not get the kind of reviews you want. And again, I can't stress enough how important reviews are. If you look at this scenario for this phone repair business in Burnsville, there's a couple things going on here. These review numbers are very low, not only in score, but in volume. This one has literally hundreds of reviews in a higher score than anybody. It's got a lot of conversion factors in terms of years of business and everything else goes with it. Let's talk about grade reviews. Incentivizing for leads. Now this goes against Google's guidelines. Incentivizing customers. I've got clients that do it, and it's against Google's guidelines, but it works. So you'll have to do that at your own risk. Obviously, there's consequences for all this. In order for them to find this, Google has to go out, prove it, or show evidence of it. And again, it's their playing field. So whether they have evidence or not, they're going to make a decision to say, yeah, these guys are incentivizing, they're done. But that being said, you have to ask yourself if they have the resources to do that. Maybe in some ways they do. They will dedicate resources in terms of algorithms or computer ways to go out and search that out. However, if it's a verbal incentive, then I don't know how they're going to figure that out. I have another client that does this, and this is kind of interesting. Charitable donations. Now you be the judge of this one. I have clients that use the request for review. So they're setting up the scenario. Look, our goal is to give you 5-star service. If we can give you 5-star service, and if we can get this done on time, you can leave us a 5-star review. We'll leave $10, $20 to the firefighters fund or a notable charity that good in that immediate area. And it works. So George Costanza Human Fund or whatever the deal is, it's got to be a legitimate charity. Again, are they being directly compensated for that review? No, the charity is, but they're not. So this is the secret deal that this is my inside ball, and it doesn't go against Google's guidelines. So you're a business owner, you obviously don't want to leave a review for your own business. But I don't know, if your kids did business and bought something from your business legitimately, why not? Here is what I was going to get to, the secret sauce. I directly asked about vendors. So vendors are doing business with you, right? To me, it makes sense. If you have a bunch of vendors that are doing business with you, you pay your bills on time, it's evidence that you're doing good business. And I would say, hey, we have a good relationship, right? Great. We pay our bills on time, right? Yep. Do you think we should continue doing business together? Yeah, great. But say, I want to do business with you too. Wouldn't it be something if you could leave me a 5-star review? And that's, to me, that makes sense. As long as you're paying your bills on time, you do have that good relationship. I'd ask my vendor for a 5-star review. And if we can't get 5 stars, what is it we need to do together so I can have that 5-star relationship with you? If you are willing to go through that process, we'd appreciate it. Again, 5 stars would be helpful. What else? If you need help with any aspect of your digital marketing, go ahead and reach out to us. We have a form submission. You can go to either Local SEO Tactics .com, or you can go to Intrycks.com. And Intrycks is INTRYCKS.com. Either call us or do a form submission. Be more than happy to see if we can help you out. We usually do a free discovery call, see what your needs are, and then help you down the path. Next week, we're going to be talking about directory listings and citations. Are they still relevant? And the short answer is yes. For small or for location or local SEO, for sure, they are relevant. We'll dig into that process, how to develop a strategy for that, and then how it will help your rankings within the natural SERPs, or what we call organic. So thanks again for your time and listening. I look forward to seeing the next episode as we go through directory listings. Thanks.